Hello, welcome back to Fanteam in Focus. It is game week 29, a monster time. Shaun and Jack are with us this week. How are we doing, boys?
I'm good,
Too
thank
bad.
you. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
I'm right, yeah. Looking forward to picking this monster. Um, Hopefully we'll come up with some good picks this time. We didn't cash last week, obviously. We had like Ronaldo in the team, right? And he didn't play, did he?
No,
Stuff
he
like
didn't
that.
play, which was unfortunate. But we was on the right process, as I've been proven. If you looked at the top of the leaderboard, the stacking again worked for people near the top of the leaderboard. So it is the right process. You just got to get the right stack.
So what type of stacking have you seen then on the top of this leaderboard then, Jackie boy?
Similar to what we did last week with
Yeah.
the three with the goalie, defender, midfielder, or the goalie, midfielder, striker, and then just double stacks everywhere else kind of thing. So that seems to be the theme that people are using and capitalizing on. So yeah, we like I said, we've just got to get the right players this week.
I love that.
We were unfortunate. I did message you last week when
Yeah.
because Wolves went 1-0 down, didn't they? And I was like, oh my god! I told you to target that Newcastle game. Thankfully for you, Brighton scored, but that at one point looked like the game that we should have stacked the triple stack on.
But do you know what? You know what? The only clean sheet that came in that we thought was going to happen was the Crystal Palace one, right? Remember, I was back in Crystal Palace a little bit for the clean sheet.
You was, yeah, you was.
Yeah,
You were
so
right. That's the way we should have gone in the end.
that is. But like you say, it's about just picking the right players, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
There's so many ways you can go. Once you've got the right stack, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
You're laughing, right? But if you pick the wrong
Yep.
stack, obviously you're on side.
Game over.
Game over. Yeah. So yeah, we'll try it again. We'll try it again. I'm willing to put my money where Jack's mouth is. Only joking. It's
We
a team.
played.
It's a team thing, and Sean's here
We
to help us as well.
Yeah, well, we played Coutinho last week, and he had an excellent week, didn't he?
Oh
So,
yeah, we did have Coutinho. We had Salah and
yeah,
Coutinho, didn't we?
yeah, we did. Salah, did he blank last week? Oh no, I'm thinking of the
We did.
I'm thinking of the Champions League midweek as well.
I think he blanked last week as well.
did he?
Saturday, they look
Yeah,
because yeah,
he blanked in that game, and then he blanked in midweek. I know he's absolutely destroyed my Champions League lineups, which were all in the cash, and I've only got one in the cash now. So
So that's what we'll be doing today. We'll be picking our monster team. I've got a couple of tabs open. I'll go through those first. I've got my £1 million game team there. Not doing too bad. 88 points last week, which seems okay, but when you consider it's a double game week, it's kind of just it sounds about average, right? So I'm probably gonna have to make some moves in that. We won't dwell on that too long. I've got Rhys James in there, which is annoying. My second chance team I'm really happy with. 2 Newcastle, and then I got Kane, Saka, Salah, Son, Kilman, Tierney, Reguilon, Aït-Nouri, and Ramsdale. So quite a lot of doublers this week, and then quite sorted for 30 as well. If I roll my transfer and then make 2 transfers next week, if that makes sense, get my Newcastle guys out. I know Jack, you're sort of similar with this, right? You got the Newcastle players as well, right?
yeah, in my second chance team, I've got Dubravka, Willock, and Wood. Unfortunately, similar to you, I've got Rhys James as well, so I'm gonna have to make a move there this week. I did have the Wolves boys. I actually scored 97 points last week in the second chance game, which wasn't too bad considering it was a double game week. But the Wolves defence finally sort of paid off yesterday against Watford. Um, so we got a little payoff there. I actually got Harry Kane in this team as well. Saka, Salah, just the usual lot like that. Son. So yeah, it was an okay week. Could have been better, but we take it. I'm still in the cash in that as well, so we take it and we move on. But Rhys James definitely this week will be coming out.
Yeah, similar pointage to me, 90 points there. I haven't got your teams up. I did say I'd bring them up, but I ran out of time a little bit. So that's that. But let's get to the meat of the conversation, which is going to be the monster. Jack, you've had a little tiny look at it, haven't you? Me and Sean are coming in a little bit cold. There was one fixture that stood out to you straight away, did you say?
Oh yeah, Southampton versus Watford. I think I'm just going to target anyone that plays Watford now. They look like they've given up. Similar to Norwich, both teams look like they've sort of given up on the season. Look destined for the drop for me. So unfortunately, Norwich are playing Leeds this week. Another team in a lot of trouble as well if they don't sort themselves out pretty quickly. So we've got 7 games on this monster slate here, which goes. It starts
Yeah.
Sunday. So it starts Sunday the 13th of March and it runs through to Monday night football, which which is Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. That for me is the sort of standout game. I like that. Chelsea v Newcastle will be an interesting one as well. I saw somewhere earlier Newcastle on a 9-game unbeaten run. Haven't been beaten in 9 games.
Do you think?
So
Yeah.
Do you think
I don't think they've lost this year.
they haven't lost this year? Do you think they could
In the league, yeah.
Do you think they'd? Do you think Chelsea will put an end to that, Sean? Because there's a lot of off the field stuff, which I know Jack, as a Chelsea fan, wants to get something off his chest or something about that. But what do you think's going to happen there?
Yeah, I mean, I even heard, was it tonight, that they've announced that their bank account's been frozen, hasn't it?
Barclays.
The Chelsea bank account. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think it will, but there are a few little rumours, obviously only Twitter rumours, but they're knocking about that the game will either go ahead. I mean, it's not going to affect the Monster because, weirdly, because of the Thursday night games, we've got 2 o'clock kickoffs on Sunday. It starts this week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll get to see pretty much all of the team, which is quite rare, really. So we won't actually have to worry too much about it if it doesn't happen for whatever reason. But yeah, I think it'll be I think both teams are probably at the minute better defensively than they are going forward. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, I think they'll give them they've got nothing to lose, really. They've done well. They're probably safe from relegation now, Newcastle. So they might as well just go there and give it a go, really.
On the other side of that, it seems like if you're looking at players to target in terms of attackers this week, does that fixture stands out to me? Would you agree to that? Like Mason Mount or even a Pulisic or something like that?
Havertz has been sort of returning. Havertz now is kind of that player that we wanted sort of at the back end of last year when everyone went mad and captained him and he just blanked, didn't he? So yeah, we're kind of seeing that Havertz now. So yeah, maybe the Chelsea attack's so hard to predict, isn't it? Because I suppose with the Monster you get the safety net, so there's no worry there. So you could play one of them, and if they don't play, then you get the safety net come in to play anyway. So
yeah, team sheet.
We'll see the team this week. See the team this week, won't we?
Yeah, like you say, yeah, this is a 2 p.m. game as well. So yeah, we will see the team. But I think it's a very dangerous game for Chelsea against Newcastle.
Arsenal against Leicester standing out to me a little bit in terms of attackers, picking Arsenal attackers. Yeah. Someone like Saka. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I think whereas that game, the Chelsea game's probably defensively better. I think, yeah, both of these teams. Arsenal aren't too bad at the back, but I think I could see both teams scoring in this game. So, yeah, I think Saka, looking at there, he's 12 million.
Yeah.
So, how good is Odegaard, by the way?
Scared of him. I was just remembering from so was he like the 16-year-old that got signed for Real Madrid, wasn't he? 10 years ago, whenever it was. Yeah. So that's what he always sticks in your mind. And he didn't really do much after that, but yeah, he does seem to be growing into that role really in that Arsenal team. So yeah, he is doing well.
I like Martinelli. Thoughts?
I like all of that game. Like Sean's mentioned, I think you can get pieces on both sides of it. Do worry, but I would say that Arsenal for me are a little bit more better defensively than you gave them credit for there, Sean, personally. And it is at the Emirates as well. It's a home game for Arsenal. Leicester struggling a little bit. I don't actually know they got in Europe last night. Did they win in Europe?
They won 2-0, I think. 2-0. Okay.
So they won last night in Europe, but yeah, I'd actually back Arsenal to keep a clean sheet there, win that game quite comfortably, 2-0, something like that.
Just coming back to something Sean said earlier about defensively with Chelsea, that's something that's popped out to me now. The more I look at these fixtures, is there's not many matchups like a good defense against a bad attack. That's the only one that really stands out to me. And I know Newcastle have been better of late, etc. Just talking in general. Maybe Wolves as well. What do you think?
I think it's a really interesting slate, this one, because a lot of the deal, I suppose you look at the biggest favourites, I'm guessing, will probably be Man City away at Palace. But Palace and Man City's bogey team, really. They beat them 2-0 earlier in the season. I remember when, was it Townsend scored a 30-yard volley against them when they won 3-2 a couple of seasons ago. So, and Palace have looked good this season going forward. So I don't even think that's as big a gimme as it used to be. So yeah, I think it's really interesting I think you can look at any of the games. I think there are options in any of the games, which is good for the monster. Really, it should offer a bit of variety in the choices that people go for.
I've got the Chelsea defence up here. Obviously, no Rhys James. Alonso, I don't think he played a single game out of the last 2-3 weeks. So who's going to play fullback? Does that mean we got Callum Hudson-Odoi on one side and like Saul or something like that on the other side?
You probably get Saul on the left side, and then you'll probably get Caesar or Equator on the right side. I would have thought something like that, similar to that, and then Chabaloa, Silva, and Rudiger at the back, or Christensen maybe comes in for Chabaloa. Rudiger didn't play in midweek, so I think he'll be back. He needed a rest actually. I think he played like 13 games straight, something like that. I saw the other day, so he needed a bit of a rest, and it was good. It was a good game to give him a rest in really against Norwich.
Hilarious as well if like you're playing FPL and you captain Rhys James like I did, and then a lot of safer people captain Rudiger, and then Rhys James got injured after the first game, got like 1 million points, and then the Rudiger people were rubbing their lips, licking their lips, and then he gets rested for like the first time in the whole season. I put Azpilicueta in, right, because I like what you said there. I agree with it that potentially he could play right wing back. He's done it before.
Yeah.
Did I hear something or see something on Twitter, Sean, about injuries with Chelsea, Azpilicueta?
Yeah, he came off at half time yesterday, and they reckon he might be injured. So there is a little bit of a doubt over there, but you do obviously get to see the team anyway. And even if you didn't change it, your safe net would be Silva underneath Azpilicueta, who's like 0.1 cheaper. It's not as though usually you got your flying wing backs. It's not as though
still not a bad safety net to have.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You know, Silva will play the 90 minutes as well, and sometimes he's good for a goal every now and then as well. Thiago Silva. So.
In terms of the Chelsea double stack, then, what do you think about this, Jack? Azpilicueta and Havertz.
Yeah, Havertz. To me, I think you play Havertz. He's a player in form. Him and Mount just played. I mean, they both played exceptional last night against Norwich, especially under the circumstances. But yeah, Havertz for me.
Do we go for a third, Sean, or leave it there for now?
I just think for how they're one of the most expensive on the slate. I think Man City are probably the next. I think they're quite expensive for what potentially they can do this week. Personally, I think there's probably decent value across the board. So you might actually have the funds left to spend on it. I would rather, if I was going to go for that much money, I'd rather go bigger on City, maybe a double up on City midfield rather than a Chelsea. But that's just
no, that's fair. That is definitely fair.
Yeah, makes sense. City probably a better attack than Chelsea. Well, definitely better attack. It's definitely I think we're definitely going to get one City. Crystal Palace are good defence though. I mean, underlying numbers they're exceptional. Actual goals conceded is another story. They're kind of mid-table. Well, they got the clean sheet last week, but we're talking about Man City here, right? Phil Foden, Sean, what do you think? Or De Bruyne?
Let's look at Man City midfielders. So looking at those, I think I'd go. I'm trying to think who played midweek.
De Bruyne was rested, wasn't he, in midweek?
I think De Bruyne was as well.
I know De Bruyne definitely was.
That's what I think. What's the budget? 108 million this week. It wouldn't put me off necessarily going for Mahrez and De Bruyne. It's 28 million, but I think I haven't looked at the price of the other games, but I suspect there is decent value. I mean, I think I looked at the Everton Wolves, and I think Everton are priced up as favourites. I'm guessing only because I think Pickford. It would cost you more to put Pickford in than it would Sarr, which seems mad, really. So I'm guessing that the four defenders are the same. So I think you can sort of cheap out on some decent defences. Obviously, we know how good Wolves are defensively, really, and how woeful Everton have been. Elephant, yeah. But yeah, I think you definitely want at least one Man City midfielder out of them.
I agree with Sean. I think you play both Mahrez and De Bruyne.
And I go for De Bruyne for now. Just the one because the game's on the 14th of the 3rd at 8 o'clock, right? So we don't get the team sheets. I would say De Bruyne nailed on to play that game. I know he was rested.
does it matter with the safety net with City's midfield anyway?
Good point. Let's have a little look.
Yeah, so I think it goes Sterling, Mahrez, De Bruyne, and then Foden.
Yeah, if it goes Sterling, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Foden, Silva.
Oh, in that case, Mahrez is a good shout because Foden
it's a bit like the second chance, isn't it? You're just picking a Man City midfielder, and you really don't care who you get because you know within reason you know one of them is going to be relatively attacking. Good shout of getting some points, hopefully.
I'm happy with that for now. Yeah, so we'll go Mahrez, De Bruyne. I like your reasoning there, guys. I'm going to put a poll in the chat if anybody is actually watching. Captaincy poll. So I'm assuming our captain's going to come out of one of these guys, right? So I'm going to put De Bruyne.
I would captain Mahrez, personally.
So I put City or Chelsea.
I think if you're going to captain someone like a Man City, you obviously then go ultra safe. You'd probably go for someone in a 2:00 kickoff, knowing that they're definitely going to start. Because if your captain doesn't start, it then goes onto the vice. It doesn't roll to your safety net. So you don't really want to. You wouldn't go for two City midfielders just in case Mahrez and De Bruyne for whatever reason didn't start, and then you'd be left without a captaincy pick.
Can we just put Sarr in goal because that's just too cheap against Everton?
Let's have a little look. Let me just click back onto my screen.
He's 7.3 million. That's too cheap.
So look. So yeah, Shaun, you were saying that as well when you Wolves look cheap, right?
Yeah, I mean, in FPL, I'm actually debating with not to bring in Calvert-Lewin, but that's mainly just because I fancy having a bit of fun, and they've got 2 games in the FPL game week.
2 games.
But I think the Wolves stats over the season have just been great. Just kept a clean sheet, although it was against Watford, so take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, like Jack says, I think 7.3. When you look at the people below him, you've got Gaeta at Palace, Dubravka at Newcastle, so you've got tough games. Schmeichel.
Fraser's the only one that sort of interests me.
Yeah, I maybe, or Martinez would potentially. He's cheaper than Sarr. He's 6.9, but I don't think Villa. I think Villa are definitely a team that love going forward and are probably a bit more open at the back. So yeah, I think Sarr at 7.3, and I'd probably look at a double up maybe. I don't know what their price is.
Yeah. I agree.
Done it. I'm not Aït-Nouri, 6.7. He's the third down. My thinking is I know Semedo's injured, right? And that kid Hoover is injured as well. So that's both right back spots gone. So you would assume either a kid would come in there or Johnny, who I can't actually see.
I think Johnny started the last game, actually. I think he started Thursday night. Because I know Kilman got benched, didn't he?
Okay, so Johnny probably started at right back then, didn't he? I would have thought. Because I know Aït-Nouri played left back.
Yeah, Kilman definitely got benched.
And Kilman was definitely benched, yeah.
I'm just going to have a look on, because FPL Tips, Harry, he always puts a poll out. Well, he puts like a thread out every Friday. I think he's got like 20 people from each team that sort of tips up who he thinks going to start.
The lineup, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, which is always quite handy. So I don't actually know who. Let's have a look who his Wolves picks are. But again, with the safety net, you do get the. Like I said, as long as you don't go too low on it, you're going to get someone coming, aren't you?
Yeah.
So there we go. Wolves. He's got looks like Aït-Nouri and Johnny starting. It's FPL Adama. It's the one that's wrote the pick. But yeah, so as long as you've got one of those coming in,
I like the sound
of
that.
You go Aït-Nouri. I think it's decent.
Yeah, go Aït-Nouri.
What do you think about doing 2 doubles in the defence then? Like 2 Chelsea, 2 Wolves. So I'd get like Rudiger in for something like that as well. As a strategy, what do you think?
You can start it to see, and then if you've got 2 Man City midfielders, but then just see what money we've got left.
Too much money.
So I think there could be other games that. We know Watford are rubbish.
Sorry. Do we want to get someone like Ward-Prowse? Ambrosia.
Potentially, yeah, they're playing Watford. I'd say Southampton, Watford, and Leeds, Norwich could be goals in those games.
I think the Leeds Norwich game would be a differential game. So if you wanted to get weird, I think that would be the game to attack. Maybe like if you really, you'd have to be a madman to do it. But if you really wanted to get weird, go with like a Leeds defense. maybe. Like, I know it's really weird, and like I know you wouldn't do that normally, but it's a massive differential pick, so to speak. Like double stack of Leeds in defence. I don't know. I don't think I want to do it for our build, but
it's not a terrible idea, is it? Because Norwich aren't amazing. Although Pookie's done quite well lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, he scored.
I'd fancy it. I wouldn't mind a bit of Pookie.
Let's have a look.
He's 8 million in there. Don't know what the other strikers are really.
I like the sound of Pookie. To be fair, let's pop him in.
Chris
Leeds.
Wood's 5.6 against Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm not playing Chris Wood.
He scored last week though, right?
Yeah, he did. He proved me wrong last week, but that was one of his 3 goals that he'll score the whole season.
I think Pookie's a decent. Like we say, Leeds.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I've put him in. I'm not convinced with it, but I've put him in. I don't mind it. Leeds. Do I want a Leeds player? They didn't look good, did they, on the weekend? Did you watch that?
No.
Yeah, no, they looked terrible on the weekend.
I saw last night as well, and they didn't look. They great last night.
They missed Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips. They missed him so badly.
And Rafinha's 11.8 million.
Yeah, it's too much. I'm not playing that.
Too much.
Did you?
Like you said, 11.8. I can pay 12 for Saka. I know who I'd rather have out of those two.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't got any Arsenal net. Oh yeah, let's get the Arsenal in. We haven't got them yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we want to get Saka in?
So at the minute, we've got Sarr, Aït-Nouri, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Havertz, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Pukki. I'm going to pop Martinelli in because he's my favourite, I think, out of those. Although Saka's probably better, really, isn't he? But he's cheaper. He's a lot cheaper. So Martinelli, 11 million.
The problem you've got with Martinelli will be you obviously don't see the teams.
Yeah.
And I think he is, if we look at all the status, because there's 4 midfielders vying for those 3 fronts behind Lacazette, isn't there?
Yeah, you're right,
and
actually.
Martinelli, he's priced as the 4th. Even Smith Rowe's more than him. So you'd probably look at getting Thomas Partey, because Pepe wouldn't start with it. So you'd be looking at getting Partey, and you're basically paying £2.5 million extra to get.
I think yeah,
you're right.
Martinelli's 11 million, isn't he? And Odegaard's 11.2 million. I think I'd rather just play Odegaard for the 0.2 extra.
And if he doesn't start, you would probably have Martinelli then come in, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
For any reason.
Yeah, I've gone up to Saka, but that's not a bad shout. Bringing it down to Odegaard. It's only a 0.2 more.
I think I'd rather have Saka out of everyone.
I think I would as well.
Again, it just depends on the budget, doesn't it?
Okay.
If you go Saka, you've got 23.4 million left on 3 players.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 so far. So 2 left.
Oh, you've got 9?
Yeah, 9.9 million left for 2.
Who have you got in your team now? Because I've got Sarr, Aït-Nouri, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Saka, Pukki.
Yeah, Havertz as well.
Oh, you put Havertz in as well? You've done a triple Chelsea set?
Yeah, we've got trips.
I don't think you're going to get a lot for 9.9.
No, we might have to downgrade somewhere, right?
I would downgrade Havertz.
Ooh, would you? He's one of my favourites.
Against Newcastle, I just think it's a really tough game.
I think Chelsea's where you downgrade. It's just whether you downgrade a defender.
Rudiger.
If you took like Rudiger out, or even left Rudiger in, maybe, because then if he doesn't play for any reason, you've got Azpilicueta. Of course, I don't know what the safety net would look like for Chelsea. We get to see the team anyway, but
yeah,
you're looking at.
I would take out Fraser Equator.
Yeah, if you took him out, and then maybe go for a double stack in defence of a slightly less team. I've got Wolves already, but if you went for I don't know, Southampton. I don't know West Ham or Villa. I don't know what their prices are like.
Yeah, there's some good options in the West Ham in both the ranks there, isn't there? West Ham and Villa.
Villa have got. They're cheap defensively anyway.
I think you're right though. What you said earlier about Villa. The problem is they just want to go attack. I don't know. I would. What about Southampton defender against Watford?
They expect it's midfielders. They're about 8.5, 9 million.
Are they? Okay.
Coutinho at Villa is only 6. No, that's a lie. 8.7.
I'd like to play Coutinho.
I think West Ham will struggle this week because Bowen's probably not going to be playing, is he? They said he's going to try and get to the second leg for Seville. Villa game. I don't think they look at the same team. They've had a lot of injuries. I don't think they're going to get top 4. So I think they're going to. The league's gone really for them now. So I think they will try and focus. I don't know if they're not in the cup, are they? They're out of the cup, but I just think they could be on the beach really quite early. West Ham. So I think Villa against them. If you put Coutinho in and take Azpilicueta out, it leaves you 12.3 million.
Yeah.
So you could. Do you take Sarr out and go for another Wolves defender, so you still get the double up, and then go for a cheaper keeper? So Martinez is 6.9, he's cheaper, and I don't even know who's even like dirt cheap if you really wanted to, like, just hope for the save points. Like Tim Krul, he was
Crystal Palace keeper. They're actually a decent defence.
I'm not playing the Crystal Palace keeper against Man City, especially when we've got 2 Man Cities.
Yeah. I think Tim Krul's 5.8 against Leeds.
I don't hate that because he'll probably get a lot of saves in that game. Leeds go forward. I don't hate it, especially as we got Pookie.
So if you took Sarr out, it's 5.8, and then another Wolves in defence. I don't know who you go for in defence though. Presumably you try and get the other fullback, but I don't think you could go too. You could go Kilman. Yeah, you could go Kilman because the safety net works. It's got Size Cody, Ain't Nori, Marcel, Kilman. If Kilman doesn't start, you get Semedo, who's out, isn't he? And then Johnny and Will Bollies at 6 million. They're going to play 5 at the back, aren't they? They're not going to change that. So if you went Kilman, he's the 5th lowest on the price. So if he doesn't play, you're going to get whoever. You're going to get someone. You're not going to be left out. And you get to see the team anyway. But
who should I downgrade? Who should I downgrade is the question. I bought in a really left field one here, right? Tell me what you think about this one. And then we need to find out who to downgrade. Cresswell for West Ham against Villa. You're not going to like that, are you?
I'm not doing that if I'm playing Coutinho.
I'm not sold on Coutinho though yet, see? You don't like it, do you?
I'm trying to find who.
See, I've done your thing, so I've put Krul in, and I've gone Kilman at the back to saves the equator out, and that leaves you with 7.3 million. If you have Coutinho in as well.
You're going to love this, Jack. You're going to love this. If you then sort it out by what money you've got left,
yeah,
it has to be a defender or a striker, doesn't it? Because you've got 5 midfielders.
Yep.
Who's sat at 7.2 million as a striker?
Dennis.
No, I'm not playing Dennis.
Close.
King.
Josh King.
No, I'm not doing that.
I don't mind one of those two, to be fair. Watford against Southampton.
No.
Dennis. I wouldn't mind Dennis.
No.
What about a Palace striker?
No.
I'd rather just play another defender, I think.
Daka, Leicester, v Arsenal.
Yeah, I like that. How much is he?
7.2. I don't know if he's in the start though. I think 6.7.
Vardy's injured, isn't he? I know Vardy's injured, but we don't see the team sheet.
No, but you'd assume either him or Iheanacho would play, but they're the only 2 strikers.
What about this one then? For a sexy pick, this is James Sargent of Norwich.
Do you know? I looked at. Yeah, I looked at that.
How much is he?
Double Norwich attack.
7.1 million, and then we've got the triple Norwich stack.
I'd switch it. I'd switch Pookie to Sargent. What happens then? Let me see. That might free up some cash. Well, it leaves me at 4.1 million.
Why are you taking Pookie out? You don't need to.
No, but I don't double Norwich.
We've triple stacked Norwich.
Oh, you guys have gone a little. You've gone another way than me. I've kept the defense.
But to win this thing, you have to go left field. It's why I mentioned Leeds earlier as well. If you really want to get weird, you could go Leeds in defence.
Yeah. I there's any cheap defenders. All
the trouble I got is I don't want to do the cruel thing. I don't want to back cruel, but I do want to downgrade a defender somewhere.
I've got to admit, I would prefer if Norwich were at home because I don't like backing the road team. Like, so that's a real American term, NFL term, road team. I don't like backing an away team, especially with my defense and goalie. So, but it's hard this week. The only home team that I fancy to keep a clean sheet is Southampton.
I'm just short. I thought I found a quite good stack there. I'm just short. 0.2 short. Damn it. I'm not convinced by Chelsea. Not defensively, anyway.
You're not
No, neither
defensively.
am I.
I am though, kind of. See, that's the problem. I just think that's the best defense. And unless we swap it for Man City, I prefer Man City actually over Chelsea.
I've got a team. Beautiful team.
Go on then, tell us what it is.
What have I got? I've got two triples. I think, yeah, two triples, double Wolves. So I've got Martinez in goal, away at West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham fruitless. I've teamed it up with Matty Cash,
Oh,
FPL hero.
Oh,
He scored as well.
Oh, that is saucy.
Yeah. Then I've got Aït-Nouri and Kilman, Walker, Kyle Walker. And he's the only one I can afford.
But he plays.
Well, if he doesn't, I've got John Stones coming in after, so it's not.
No, did you not see Pep's thing about
Yeah,
it?
I'm still angry at him. He's still on the naughty step, basically.
Yeah, Pep went absolutely nuts about him.
Yeah. Then midfield we talked about: Mahrez, Saka, De Bruyne, Havertz, Coutinho, and then the legend it is Timo Pukki up front. Don't know if I could afford anyone else. I've got 0.3 left in the bank. Oh, I could afford Hwang.
Oh, Hwang's not a bad shout, I don't think. How much is Hwang?
8-1. There's just not many strikers I really fancy. I mean, I've got Broja, but there's rumours about he might have a knock. He might be rested at the weekend. And I know you'd get Adam Armstrong or Shane Long, and I'm not even overly convinced they'd start. I think if Broja was out, I think they'd just play Che Adams up top. But again, you get to see the team.
Right, what about... I've downgraded Rudiger to Stones. I've downgraded Pukki to Sargent. I've put Daka in. And I've put Luke Thomas in.
Luke Thomas.
Yeah. So, the team reads Sarr, Aït-Nouri, Stones, Azpilicueta, Thomas, Havertz, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Saka, Daka, and Sargent. I love we got Saka and Daka.
Well, get old Granit Xhaka in there as well.
Oh, we could have Saka, Daka, and Xhaka.
Lacazette.
And Laka. I wonder how much he costs.
I'm out of it now. I've got no others. I don't know who is Ziyech injured, Jack, do you know?
Ziyech, yeah, he's injured. Again.
Pulisic, he's only 13.2.
Oh, don't play Pulisic.
Right, I've got 12 million. This is the way this team's going to go, right? It's gambling on the fact that Leicester are going to beat Arsenal.
That's how you win it.
So this is different, but it's not hugely crazy. So Saka has come out, Luke Thomas has come in, so they need to keep a clean sheet basically, and Daka needs to score, so like a 1-0 Leicester. And it gives me 12 million now to spend on any player, as long as they're not from Man City.
Any position.
Any player, any position. I've already got Havertz, De Bruyne, and Mahrez.
You can't go Saka. You say you got Thomas?
Yeah, I don't want to go Arsenal. That's the one place I don't want to go
Saka.
because I've I don't know what the word is. I've kind of steered it.
Rafinha.
Ooh, could be good. I mean, the fixture itself is good, right? Leeds against Norwich. It's at home.
James Ward-Prowse, he's 11.5.
While you guys have been doing that, I've just built a team.
Go on then. What does it mean? Let's hear it.
So I've got Fraser Forster in goal.
Yeah.
Ain't Nori and Kilman at the back
Yeah.
with Livramento and Matty Cash.
Okay.
In midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez, Saka, Coutinho. And then up front, Broja and Ollie Watkins.
That's quite good.
And that leaves me
like Ollie
1.3 million. 1.3 million in the bank. So I've got a triple stack of Villa, which is risky.
I've got that. I like Villa stack.
I've got the triple stack of Southampton with the goalkeeper and Livramento at the back and Broja. I've got the double City, double Wolves, and I've got Saka in there as well, who I like. I might.
It's just not.
So I'm just going to see if I can take Matty Cash out and put a Arsenal defender and see what it throws up at me. I don't think it will, but
I imagine, yeah, they're quite expensive.
yeah, no, it doesn't. I can't get an Arsenal defender in, which is a shame.
I feel like I want to get rid of Havertz.
Could get Granit Xhaka in, but he's definitely going to get booked in that game. Definitely the type of game that he'll get booked in.
Harvey Barnes, 6.5 million.
What? That is cheap.
Mm.
Right, I'm leaving it. That is my team.
I'm tempted by these Southampton players now, Jack. And when you said Leeds defence earlier, I'm actually even thinking about Leeds defence, the worst defence in the world. I'm thinking about them.
But if you do that, you can't play Pookie, obviously. So
yeah, I've taken him out. It's changed again.
Who would I captain?
I
would captain Mara.
Not the only one. Eskimo in the chat has said Pookie is a good pick.
Yeah.
Eskimo's obviously a wise man.
He is a good pick, to be fair. He's on form. It's a decent fixture.
Do you know what? I'm going to enter this into the mini monster. I'm going to make him captain.
With Pookie?
Yeah. And I don't really matter who I go. I really don't like Havertz, but I'm going to leave him in there.
I'm going to build a couple of teams anyway. So I'll put that one team that I just said in.
What about Billy Gilmore? I haven't seen a lot of Norwich. What is he doing?
No.
He'll be back at Chelsea next year. Well, actually, he might not be because there might not be a Chelsea next year.
Will it? Oh, yeah. Be back because I know everyone else leaving. So anyone under contract. Is Broja still a Chelsea player?
No, he's a free agent in the summer as well.
Broja is?
Yep.
Oh, dear.
Something will happen by then anyway. It's not Yes, it's not
I think they said Nick Candy, isn't he? He's meant to be.
Yes, so someone will buy Chelsea by then, and it'll go through anyway. Like I say, obviously the government's going to hold the money, which is more than fair anyway. I said my feelings on Mr. Abramovich last week. Don't agree with certain sections of the Chelsea fan base singing his name either, but at the same time, you shouldn't tarnish us all with the same brush either. Like, you shouldn't put us all in the same situation. So we're not all like that. So
oh no,
you always get a minority of idiot fans at every club in every league around the world, really. Unfortunately, but that's football. But we've had a good 19-year run. I look forward to League Two in a couple of years. Sorry.
We'll see us on the way down.
Oh, I found it. I found the one. Oh, are you watching, lads? Oh, do you need me to read it to you?
I need it. Yeah, I need it read.
I've gone for Triple Wolves.
Yeah, I like that.
The crowning glory.
I know who he's gone for.
He's gone for his boy, hasn't he? Podence, yeah. He scored though on yesterday, didn't
he? Yeah, he did. So Podence is in it. I got Sarr, Aït-Nouri and Podence. Stones, Aspilicueta, Cresswell. That was a cheeky one. Havertz, De Bruyne, Mahrez. Daka and Pookie up front.
Captain Pookie.
I don't like Daka, but yeah.
I suppose Daka is against Arsenal, isn't he? But there's not much else I can do around that price point. Let's have a little look then. 6.7.
See the suspended the golf game, Jack?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's yeah. What a nightmare.
Has everyone finished round 1 yet? Or are they still doing it?
There's still players out there that have probably, I think they've got like 9 holes left, some of them, to finish round 1. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at, well, at this rate, the weather's not meant to be too good there tomorrow either. So, but it's only windy tomorrow, so I don't know what they're going to do. But at this rate, we're looking at a Tuesday finish.
Oh dear. So my season long's going to screw up for next week.
Yeah, I don't actually know why they didn't cancel it just push it back a couple of days in the first place, because they knew this weather system was coming in. So you would have thought they would have just moved it back a couple of days, and a bit weird really. But hey ho. Because you could have, if you'd moved it back a couple of days, you could probably have done 36 holes over the weekend on both days. Really. Would have made sense. So. But hey ho, it is what it is.
There it is. Captain Havertz, Vice Captain De Bruyne. Thoughts?
Risky putting it on De Bruyne, because if he doesn't,
you definitely need captain's name.
Yeah, risky on De Bruyne with the vice captaincy because you don't know that team sheet yet, and you won't see it either. That's the only thing I'd say.
But if you've got Captain Havertz at 2 o'clock, you should at least definitely know that he's starting anyway, shouldn't you? Hopefully.
Yeah. Havertz is fine. It's the City. It's the vice captain on De Bruyne that would worry.
You don't get anything for vice captain, then, do you? It's not like the not like
I thought you did.
Like the,
you do.
In the monster. I don't know if you do in the monster.
Yeah,
I know you do in like the pursuits, don't you?
No, you get your 0.2 or 1.25 on your vice captain.
Well, this has completely ruined my enjoyment of this platform for last season, when I've just literally chucked my vice captain on anyone, thinking I'm not going to need it.
Why would they do it? Why would they put a vice captaincy in there?
A bit like FPL, I suppose.
Yeah, but I don't play FPL, so sorry.
No. Well, there you go. Every day's a school day.
There you go. Team entered successfully.
Nice.
We'll see how it goes.
We will.
My season-long team is about taking absolute nosedive.
Let's have a little look at that then while I got you on.
There's no need.
You don't need to look at mine either, so there's that.
I'm doing all right in the Champions League one, but
yeah, I was, and then Salah decided, because I'd captained Lewandowski in that, and then Salah decided he didn't want to do anything, so it's great.
I've got one team I think scored about 68 points so far, and I've only had 3 people in it.
Nice.
I think I've had Lewandowski, Benzema captain, and then
nice. Yeah.
I can't think who the other one was. It was who did well. Might be maybe Sane. Just put Sane.
Have you guys used your wildcard in season long? I might have to use mine.
I've done it in second chance.
Yeah.
You're about to do yours?
I think I'm going to have to do mine, because I bought in Lukaku last week and captained him. And
that went well.
Yeah, that went well. So
I told you not to do that.
I knew I was going to wildcard soon, so I thought it's just a bit of a...
So is that the second chance you're going to wildcard?
I've done that.
Or the main one?
Main one.
Oh, you knew we could have built it for you now.
Oh yeah.
Completely screwed you up.
Yeah.
I think really you've got to go for Arsenal to navigate next week as well. You've got to probably go at least 4 Arsenal and Spurs, I'd say, because obviously they've doubled this week and they've got a game next week.
I'd go triple each. I'd get Saka, Ramsdale, potentially Martinelli, and then I'd get Kulusevski, Kane, and like a cheap defender, maybe a Doherty.
I don't know what price Kulusevski's at, actually.
Triple Wolves as well. And then I'd keep my bench then. So I'd get my first team ready for this week and next week. And then I'd keep a bench, which... and I potentially just have to do that because I'd bench like Salah then in Game Week 30. Salah, Trent. My ideal bench for Game Week 30 would be Salah, Trent and James, and then everyone else plays, right? That's what I'm trying to do in FPL. I'm tempted to sell James, but I don't think I will.
Yeah, I've got that dilemma as well. It's not too bad in the second chance team because there's less of an issue in it, the fact that you get Rudiger or whoever. So in the second chance, I'm not going to get rid of him because they've got Newcastle, haven't they? So it's not a bad fixture. It's not a double, but you can't have everyone, can you? So I think he's probably a hold in the second chance just because you get someone decent. But yeah, in the depending on what the rest of your team's looking like in the season long, you probably want to ship him potentially. But yeah, Kulusevski 6.7 in the season long one.
So still decent then. He's unbelievable in FPL, 6 million. Excuse me. Anyway, so yeah, I'll probably wildcard this then this week. Maybe look at it tonight or tomorrow. But I think I'm definitely going to have to capitalise on the doubles in 29, set it up for 30 and beyond. Happy days. Second chance.
Yeah, I think
looking good.
Because who else is there? Newcastle got a double this week, haven't they?
Yeah.
Probably don't want many of those.
No.
You don't want to go more than one, maybe, I'd say.
Not against Chelsea. No.
No, you've got Brighton have got a double, but it's a rubbish double, isn't it? It's Liverpool Arsenal.
Let's do it.
Liverpool Tottenham.
We'll do it now quickly, lads, isn't it? Because we normally stay on air like for about an hour afterwards anyway, don't we? So let's have a little... I'll click through my wildcard while we're on here. So we'll go.
Arsenal, it's tricky with Arsenal. They've got Leicester, Liverpool, so it's not defensively anyway. I know they're half decent, but you probably don't want to go double defence, do you?
No, I don't know. I don't like the defense. I don't mind Ramsdale, but just for the fact that, plays this
save
week.
Points as well.
Yeah.
And you get save points. You've got to bear in mind as well, there's a lot of... Obviously, there's still quite a fluctuation in terms of what fixtures teams have got left as well. So someone like Everton, although they're rubbish, they have still got... I think they've got the most games left. 13. I think they're probably the most. And unlike some teams, they've got 13, but they've still got Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool to play. Everton haven't really got... They've got Chelsea and Liverpool back-to-back in April, but other than that, they've got easier teams, shall we say. But then they are Everton, so...
Everton are definitely interesting. The only worry with that is I'd have to carry them through 30. Do you know what I mean? So I'd have a double on this week. They potentially have to bench them next week. Whereas already...
I don't think it's too bad. If you get the right core people for next week...
Yeah.
I don't think it matters too much even if you only have 10, maybe even 9 at a push.
Yeah.
Because you do it in FPL, wouldn't you? So I think as long as you get like the big players covered, it's probably going to be like Son, an Arsenal midfielder, Ramsdale be the keeper, maybe a couple of Wolves defenders. Bowen would have been popular, but then will he play now? Probably not. And would you want anyone from other than Bowen from West Ham? I don't know. Maybe someone like Rhys, Norgard could come into it, because obviously you've got no bench boost or anything like that with Fanteam, and you want to cheap out your bench, don't you? Norgard will still be 4.5 million. He plays in 30, and we know what Norgard. He plays 90. You're going to get 3 to 4 points from him, which is probably all you want in 30, I'd say.
So I've got to this so far. So it's Ramsdale, Trent, Robertson, Doherty, Salah, Saka, Martinelli, Kulusevski, and Kane. That sorts my bench then for 30, if that makes sense. My bench would be Salah, Trent, and Robbo. I kind of want to have 11 players for 30, if that makes sense, if I'm wildcarding now.
Yeah.
So I've got how many players left to pick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You need all of those to be 30, don't you?
So I need 2 players, who play in 30 and ideally double this week as well, but I don't think that's possible because that's only Arsenal, Spurs.
Yeah.
It's only
That's
Arsenal.
the only ones.
Yeah. Interesting.
I would be tempted to only go with. I mean, at the moment, I'm trying to think how many I've got for 30. And my best one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only got 8 in my team currently. I've got 2 frees this week, but I don't think I will get 11. I think I will. I'll be happy with 10 as long as the main ones are covered. So I've got Kane, I've got Rafinha, I've got Odegaard, my Arsenal midfielder. So I think as long as you cover the key players, you're only going to be, if you're 1 or 2 short, you're only going to probably miss out on, I don't know, 5 to 10 points, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereas you probably might make that up if you pick a decent doubler this week that doesn't blank next week. That does blank next week. So someone like, I don't know.
Yeah, talk to me. Who is that person?
I say in FPL, I'm thinking about bringing in. I think if you look at the game, the best double is probably Everton. If you take out all the form and everything,
according to the Premier League as well. You know, the FDR on the Premier League.
Yeah.
If you sort the FDR by fixture difficulty, a load of single game weeks at the top, then Everton, then a few more single game weeks, and then all the doubles. You know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Wolves and Newcastle would be. But Arsenal got Leicester and Liverpool. You got Brighton have got Liverpool, Tottenham. That's definitely a no-go, really. So I'd say Everton have probably got the best double, but
who do you pick?
It depends.
Pickford.
If it was me, I'd go Calvert-Lewin.
Is he playing? Is he playing now?
But Pickford, Calvert-Lewin, I think he was back last week. The problem, you've got 4 midfielders already, haven't you? You've got double Arsenal midfield.
Yes.
Or do you go for midfielders where all the best players are really at the minute? Do you sacrifice an Arsenal midfielder and go for Lacazette? Knowing that it frees up another midfield spot.
Potentially. I don't mind Lacazette, he's quite good. But then...
Tony. But then, only because Tony plays next week. He doesn't got double this week.
Oh, Tony's a good shout. The Fanteam legend himself. Because
he's got Burnley this week.
Plays, and he's got Burnley. Good fixtures.
He hasn't got a double. But then you have to look at it and say, well, actually, do I want to pick a Brentford player who over the next 2 weeks plays twice? Or do I pick someone that has got a double this week and just blank next week? Because you're playing the same games, aren't you?
Same thing, yeah. Same amount of games, yeah.
So who would score more, Tony or Calvert-Lewin?
Brentford are basically Everton, aren't they? And Everton and they're both like very similar type of teams, right?
The thing with Everton is, if you're playing your wild card, they have got more games in the future. So if you're going to pick, that's why I think someone like in FPL, Anthony Gordon's quite popular, isn't he? Because he's cheap.
Yeah.
Plays most of the time, and in the future he's going to have a lot of doubles. So you sort of have to try and future-proof your team as well.
What do you think about doing this goalkeeper combination? Pickford and Schmeichel. Because, like you said, the volume of games left to reschedule for Leicester, although they are pretty shocking in defence. Pickford you get the double then from Everton this week. I don't mind that. You don't like it?
It's a lot of... I think it's not what price they are.
That's true. They're shocking defence, aren't they?
I suspect
they're both bad defence.
When they're doubling as well, I imagine they'll probably both double at the same time.
I think they're in a lot of trouble. Everton.
What is Pickford? 4.9. Schmeichel's 5. So tricky. I mean, I wildcarded a couple of weeks ago. feels like that long ago.
I did mine last week on my second chance.
But I mean, already I would think I would change a load of stuff on there because I've got double Burnley still.
Well, I think this is definitely going to be the core of my wild card. The triple Spurs, the triple Arsenal. Oh, I've only got double Arsenal. I've only got double Arsenal. Maybe I get a Lacazette, like you said.
I'll go Watkins and Cash.
Bring
both
Cash
playing
back.
30. Both playing 30. Play West Ham this week, which we've talked about. They've then got Wolves the week after. They then do have Tottenham, Liverpool, but then their running is Leicester, Norwich, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Man City last game. So I wouldn't be put off by any of Cash, Coutinho, or Watkins.
If I do, that's a good shout, yeah, to be fair. If I do go for 3 Arsenal outfielders, I think this works somehow. 3 Arsenal outfielders, 3 Spurs outfielders, 3 Liverpool outfielders, then go on the bench in 30.
You go double Liverpool defence.
Double Liverpool defence, Trent and Robbo. I could then manipulate my goalkeepers so it's something like Pickford and somebody else, or Dubravka and someone else. Yeah, I'll have to sit down and I'll have to do this like when we're not like live because it's going to take a while. Anyway, let's say goodbye to everyone then. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe as well. Guys, anything coming up from you guys in the week?
Got a UFC article coming out tomorrow. If that's your thing. That's for fan teams if you're playing on there. But other than that, yeah, there'll also be a monster article up on there as well tomorrow. So yeah, other than that, that is me, mate. I'll be chilling watching the golf when it finally they finally play.
Awesome. Excuse me. Great stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
See you later.